Hello, what's up guys? Welcome to the 13th tutorial in the series, the basics of programming with Python. Today we're going to be talking about dictionaries. Okay, so let's get into it. A dictionary is an unordered collection type similar to a list, but unlike indexes in lists, you can use almost any data type to represent the positions of values in the dictionary. A dictionary's index is called the key, and with its value with this is referred to a key value pair. So the dictionary is basically a key value pair. Okay, so let's get into it. So now without wasting much time, we're gonna start coding, and the first thing I'll be showing you is how to create a dictionary. Basically, I'm just gonna be showing you two ways of creating a dictionary in Python. Okay, so the first one, we're gonna use a to denote that. We're gonna use it for the variable. The first one is the dict function. You can create an empty dictionary with the dict function in Python. So we're gonna print that a and then the type, so we'll confirm it's the dictionary. Okay, cool. This is a little bit off margin. Cool. As you can see, it's a dictionary. So you can also create it with the curly brackets. That's what a dictionary is denoted with. A curly bracket denoted by curly brackets called curly braces. Okay, cool. So we can print a and print type a as well. So we see the same thing, which basically means that those are the ways of creating a list. Okay, so now we're gonna talk about getting the values from a list, but before we do that, I'm just gonna quickly grab and paste a dictionary here. I don't want to start typing the dictionary by myself, so it's gonna take time. Okay, so this dictionary I grabbed, as you can see, this is how you create a dictionary. I don't want to start typing this from scratch anyway. That's why I had to copy and paste it. Okay, cool. So now this is a dictionary. We can print it, and I told you it's a key value pair. So this is the index, the key in dictionary, and this is the value. So it's separated with the colon and then comma, more values like that. So that's how dictionaries are in Python. You run that, you see that. Okay, so how do you get the values? Just as you get the values via indexes in lists, you get the values via the key in dictionaries. Okay, so you want to get the value of July. How many days do we have in July? Okay, so we're gonna do 31. Oh, sorry about that. We're gonna do July. We should get 31 on that. Okay, so we're gonna save around that. So cool, you get 31. You can try that with other keys, and you can also get the value via the get method. So all you have to do is dot get July. So as you can see, this is another method, but this time around this only applies to dictionaries, just as we have methods in lists and tuples. Cool. So we run that, we get 31, which is correct. You can change this to May. Where's May? Okay, that's 31 too. Cool. Now let's move into changing dictionaries, the values of dictionaries via indexes. Okay, so we're gonna perform some operations here. We want to change the value of September to 10. Of course, it's not 10 days, so we're just gonna change this September. The same way you change the values in lists is the same way you change it in dictionaries. So if I do September, just as you have index here in list and then you assign it to a new value, you do the same thing with the key in dictionary and then you assign it to a new value. So we'll be assigning this to 10, and it should change that. We're gonna save that and print it. So it's gonna change September to 10, as you can see over here. You can do the same thing with different keys. Okay, so you can also add values. Unlike lists, in lists we can't do days. For example, let's assume we don't have an index and element in index 4. We can't just assign anything to give us an error. But in dictionaries, that might be a little bit confusing though. But the thing is, in dictionaries we can create a new key value pair with this indexing. Unlike list, you can't do that in list. So let me show what I'm talking about. You can do me equals to 100, and then we're gonna print it. As you can see, in list, if you try this, it's gonna give you an error. So I'm just quickly gonna type a list here and show you what I mean. So I'm gonna skip this part of the video. Okay, so this is a list. I created a list to show you what I mean. Okay, what I meant. If you try this with the list on like dictionaries, we don't have an element at index 3, we have 0, 1, 2. If you try this, it's gonna give you an error. But in dictionaries, unlike lists, it's just gonna make it a new key value pair in the dictionary, you perform the operation on. Okay, now let's go into looping through a dictionary. There are various ways you can loop through dictionaries, as you might have been wondering. How do you loop through dictionaries and the values? So we're gonna print I, we're gonna save that, then we're gonna run it. So whenever you loop through a dictionary like this, it runs through the keys only. So you can run through both the keys the same way like this. Obviously this is the same thing, we're just using this, but if you run it you see the same thing. And as you might have guessed, you can, as I said, keys and items, you can run through the items, the values like this. Okay, so this will give you the list of the values in the list rather than the keys. So these are the keys, sorry, these are the values in the list. Okay, so you can also do this with items. These items just print both together. It shows you each key and value pair, but this time it converts it to tuple, as you will see shortly. Okay, cool, you see it converts it to tuple. So with this, you might be wondering how you can separate these tuples without having to do print I and then get the index of the key value pair. Okay, so this is what I mean. Basically, you just want to get January and 31 without having to slice the tuple rather. Okay, so the way you do it is you change this to IJ. This is a weird way of looping for you for now. I'm sure if you're a beginner, but don't worry, this is another way of looping through items in the dictionaries. So you can do print I and then is, then J, and you put days. So that should give you January is 31 days, something days or so. Of course, no one day. So we're gonna save that and run it. As you can see, it says January is 31 days, February is, and so on and so forth. So that is it with looping in with dictionaries. We also have the in and nothing operators. We can also use the in and nothing operators with dictionaries, so you can check for keys, values, and items just like you use the method the other time. So you can do print January in days. Of course, this is gonna check for the keys and it should give us a true. But if you do dot values, you save that and run it, false. Okay, so that checks for values instead of list. You can change this to 30. Of course, we have 30 in the values, so it should give us a true, and that's it. You can do items and stuff like that and just compare things. That's it with nothing in and nothing operator. You can do me. Of course, me is not more there, so you should return a false. So you should return a false. Okay, we can use the nothing as well, just a quick demonstration, and nothing true. Okay, so that's it with list. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out, guys.